Guys, hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I want to say good morning to everybody. I don't have a lot of time to hang out today. I've got a big important meeting in a few minutes, but I wanted to, first of all, welcome you to drboycetv.com. This is the home for intelligent Black people. This is where we keep it extra Black and keep it extra smart and really do what we can to elevate the consciousness of Black people everywhere. Now, I've got a really good analysis I'm going to do a little bit later on today on the Black Financial Channel, theblackfinancialchannel.com, theblackfinancialchannel.com. Make sure you subscribe because basically there was a Nielsen study that just came out regarding African Americans and our spending habits, or AKA spending power. Although I don't like that term spending power because there is no power when you spend all your money. So just so you know, when they try to use a term like spending power, I need you to correct them and tell them that there is no power when it comes to spending all your money. You're just a consumer. Consumers don't have power in America. Consumers are basically economic slaves. So anyway, with that being said, let me just point out something to you guys real quick that I noticed about Antonio Brown. There was, you guys know, Antonio Brown's been dealing with new situations, emerging, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Good morning, Thaddeus. Good to see you. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but one of the things I want you guys to take a look at, and I share this on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. Basically, there is this really interesting picture and I put that in the screenshot or the profile or whatever you want to call it, the thumbnail for this video, where I couldn't help but notice that it appears that Sports Illustrated decided to darken the picture of Antonio Brown. I don't know if they did this deliberately or not, but I looked at that picture and I compared it to other pictures, and the lighting is really, really bad. And in case you don't know anything about, how you vilify somebody, and this happens a lot to Black males in America, the fact that he looks so dark in the picture. He's a dark-skinned man, nothing wrong with being dark-skinned, but there is such a thing as dark lighting having an impact on the way the public sees you. When they give you dark lighting, it makes you appear to be more sinister, more criminal, like a bad person. It makes people look at the image and kind of say, yeah, he probably did do these things that he's being accused of. He probably is, guilty of doing something wrong. Let me just look at him. He looks like he did something bad to somebody. And so I believe that this is possibly what happened with Antonio Brown, because what I did was I took that image and I juxtaposed it. I put it next to, some other images that I've seen of Brown, and none of the images look that dark. And the article happens to be one where they're going down the list of all these these allegations against Brown, these terrible things he supposedly did to all these other people. And I really think that there's something happening here. I think that there's something to be discussed. And I think you guys may want to take a look at that. And another point of comparison, what it immediately made me think about was two famous pictures in which Black males were being vilified. One was, thank you, Tina, the picture of OJ Simpson. If you remember, Time Magazine darkened the lighting around OJ Simpson's face to make him look like more of a villain, because America had decided that he was guilty, and they weren't going to consider any other they weren't going to consider any other possibility. And it's fascinating that that the media will still do something like that. Excuse me. I would hate to think that they would do that deliberately. So give me 1 second. Hit the thumbs up button while I let the rest of the tribe know that we're live. I'm not going to be live super long, but I want to let them know that we're live. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm choking, guys. And don't forget, the All Black National Convention is happening in 10 days, and it's going to be in Houston, Texas. And we're going to have a lot of great people there, and you will love it. So you should come out. The URL is allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. Also, there on that page, we'll give you a link where you can actually go to watch the live stream. And so if you want to sign up at theblackbusinessschool.com, we're letting the students in the Black Business School get access to the recordings and the live stream and stuff like that. So theblackbusinessschool.com is where you can go to watch the live stream. But actually, it's going to be great. Far better. It's far better if you're there, because you actually get to talk to people. and network with other great Black people and really have a great time. So it's a great place for people that are really Black and unapologetic about it. Michael Imhotep from the African History Network, attorney Nicole Compton, who's a business expert, Vicky Diller from Fly Nubian Queen TV, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, Dr. Latanja Watkins, the group The Royal Mix, D1, who's a great rapper, is going to be there. Sharif Abdul Malik, founder of We Buy Black, Dr. George C. Frazier, the networking guru of America, Dr. Ron Daniels, just a lot of great people. So you should feel free to check it out. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. So please hit the thumbs up button, by the way. So let me just kind of let you guys know, they're really pounding on pretty heavy on Antonio Brown right now. Of course, you know, the hard part is that, you know, once you've been accused of one thing, then everybody who ever hated you, you know, in history is going to come out and say, oh, well, he did this to me and he did this to me. And there's some really interesting remarks coming out. You know, I think there's a doctor who said something about Antonio farting in his face or something. And then there's and then he says he didn't pay him. And then there's a lady saying, you know, that he exposed himself to me and things like that. And yeah, with the streaming, did you say the convention will be streamed for the Black business students? Yeah, well, you can go to the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com, and ask them about the stream, and they can tell you where to go to get it and where you can watch the recordings. All the footage from all the conventions is there, and so every year we have different guests. And you'll love it. I mean, it's literally the best thing ever. And if you don't love it, then we just, you know, we give you a refund or whatever the case may be. So you don't worry about, you know, getting there and feeling duped or anything. We don't do that to people. So anyway, I think that, you know, this thing with Sports Illustrated is interesting. I'd love to get their answer. You know, did you deliberately darken the image of Antonio Brown? And the reason I wouldn't be surprised if this were the case is because every year, about 2-3 times a year, they pretty much feed on fear of white Americans, right? You know, fear is a greater motivator than love or desire or passion or anything like that, or intellect, right? Fear is a really strong driver of human behavior. And so, you know, there are very few things feared more than the Black male in America. There just aren't. I don't know if any of y'all saw the video I put up on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. There's a video of this little Black boy who's wrestling this little white kid. And I don't know if y'all saw it, but first they're just kind of playing around, going back and forth. And then the little Black boy just picks up the other kid and just body slams him to the ground, you know, and the kid's head snaps back. And I'm like, whoa, it looks like he got a concussion. That was pretty heavy. But it's like, you know, there's that fear, the fear of the Black male, you know, where they just say, gosh, you hear these guys who have this superhuman strength and they're smart too, and they're determined and they're capable and all these other things. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not here to say that Antonio Brown is perfect or that he's a good person. I don't know Antonio Brown, but I do know that when you are a Black male, your imperfections tend to be highlighted more than if you are a white male. You know, like I'd like to ask you guys, give me a yes or no. I mean, do you think it's a coincidence that the NFL hasn't had any white male athletes put in the public eye the way they put Antonio Brown out there, or the way they put Tyreek Hill out there, or the way they put Adrian Peterson out there, or the way they put, even going back in the day, Terrell Owens and Randy Moss out there? I mean, do you think that it's a coincidence? No, it's not no coincidence. I mean, give me a yes or no. Like, do you think it's a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence, right? So the Black male, it's not to say these brothers are perfect, because I know athletes, right? You know, and we know, y'all know, I mean, y'all, let's just be real. Y'all know some guys that just get into some dumb stuff who, you know, who really are knuckleheads, right? Antonio Brown might be a knucklehead, but the difference is that if you are a Black knucklehead, you're going to be treated differently than if you're a white knucklehead. You know, Ben Roethlisberger, go look at his track record. He's a knucklehead. Ben Roethlisberger done been into some situations that would have taken him down if he had been Black. And that's the key idea here. The key idea is not to sit here and pretend like Antonio Brown didn't do nothing. I don't believe that. I think if you're saying, "Oh, he's innocent, he didn't do a thing," no, you can't say that. Stop that. Just stop that. Y'all see how this dude tweets. Y'all see how he carries himself. You know, he ain't a guy that you'd want around your daughter. If you do, then you're stupid. But at the same time, what you can say is that things have not been proven. You know, that there's innocence still proven proven guilty. We can't assume somebody guilty just because somebody filed a lawsuit. Anybody can sue anybody for anything, especially when you're famous or when you become more of a celebrity, right? I'm a celebrity. No, I'm not gonna say I'm a celebrity. I hate using that stupid term, but I'm a public figure in the eyes of some. I've been sued, you know, and frivolously, and you get mad, like, why would you? How can this person even say these things? But you know, it happens, right? You get used to it eventually because you know that that's what people do. It's a money grab sometimes. People just are like, oh, I think I can get money by threatening to sue you. Like Kevin Hart's going through it right now. He's going through some legal situations, you know, that are kind of crazy. Where people, you know, ladies suing for 60 million for something that is kind of just a little strange that somebody would sue for that much. Now this person's gonna get taken up out of here. All right. So I saw somebody said Trump guy. They keep saying MAGA, 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 MAGA. I don't know where these people come from. But anyway, so I think that, so in fact, actually, if you go back to the book I wrote in 2004 called What If George Bush Were a Black Man? I'm not telling you guys to go buy it or anything, but if you want to go look at it, you can. That in that book, I actually analyzed and broke down from a statistical standpoint what, you know, the difference in terms of what happens when black men are less than perfect versus when they're white men who are less than perfect. And so ultimately, you know, it's a problem. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know, Antonio Brown is a guy who's going to have some issues. I don't know if they're going to let him play out the whole season, but you know, he's a great player. I think the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl with him because he's that talented. But at the same time, he needs mentorship and guidance. And I told you guys, you know, I could tell that his father wasn't in his life. Like if you had told me he had a strong father in the house, I would have said, you lying. I need to go meet his dad because this don't make no sense. Guys who have fathers, strong fathers, don't behave that way. That's just the reality. They just typically don't get me wrong. It can happen. It can happen. Like Kellen Winslow Jr. had a strong father, right? Apparently, from what I understand, or maybe I don't know. I think he did. I get the sense that he did. But y'all know he's on his way to jail, so things can happen. But I just don't. His behavior just spoke to me as somebody who had I forget. I think they call it defiant obedient disorder, or somebody basically that it's a so-called disorder where you defy authority your whole life. And a lot of the guys that end up doing that are guys that have never had an authority figure in the house, like a dad. So I kind of got a sense that something was going on. I knew he had a stepfather. His stepfather really didn't mess with him no more. His stepfather basically, if you go read the article, Antonio Brown's stepfather basically said, I don't talk to him anymore because he's out of control. He's hard to, he punched me in the face, this, that, and the other. So ultimately, it's kind of one of those things where, you find yourself in the awkward position of defending a person that I don't know if I would defend all the time, but at the same time, oppositional defiant disorder. Thank you. I wouldn't defend Antonio all the time, but in this case, I defend his right to fairness. I defend the fact that there's no proof. If you can't prove things, and you can't just sort of accuse people of things. I defend the fact that that some of it doesn't add up. If these alleged incidents took place 3 separate times over 2.5, 3 years, and you never once filed a police report, you never once stopped going to his house. You kept going to his house over and over. And then 3 years later, you file a suit. And it happens to occur at just the right time, right after you basically offered, you said to him, look, this can go away for $2 million. Well, that sounds like extortion and blackmail. So the spotlight's kind of on the accuser as well, because, you just can't do that. There's a process you have to follow. And if black men have to follow the process, everybody has to follow the process. So anyway, that's it, guys. I don't have much else to say on this. I'm about to get out of here, but do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button. If you hit the notification bell, so you'll be notified whenever we go live, make sure you do that. Also, don't forget, All Black National Convention is the weekend of September 27th. So you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com to learn more. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. Some of you are asking about these shirts like this. If you go to wokeblacktees.com, WOKE, wokeblacktees.com, there are lots of cool t-shirts like this. So feel free to go take a look. And, it is what it is. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll see you soon and talk to you later. Peace.